believe that we are streaming now. Now we are streaming again. Okay. Finally. Sorry for that. I'm still checking the. Okay. I think I have. Sorry, I have to repeat that. Okay, let me repeat for those who are following the stream. Apologize that I was not able to stream properly. It was the first time I was doing this live stream thing, but fortunately we recorded the first part, so we are going to upload the link to the first part, which you can follow later, in which we give an introduction of OpenWISP, some tips. We show the review process, give an overview. And now we are going to do some real work live together, and I think we can start. So here's how I'm going to do it. Again, whatever you see that is not going properly, let me know. Okay. Okay. Great. Here we are. Okay, so in the chat, I see Aryaman. Not sure how to pronounce your name. I think Aryaman. Yeah. Thanks. Can you pronounce your name, please?
Yeah, Aryaman.
Okay, Aryaman. Cool. Okay, so we have pull requests or two pull requests. Right. Okay. So let's start with this one. Nice. So here we want. So okay, here's the process again for those ones who couldn't follow the first part. First thing we do as maintainers is check again the issue. Right? In this case, it's not an issue, it's not a bug, but it's a kind of a feature. We want to change the API docs theme. So the API docs is in this case Swagger, which is basically an automated, an automatically generated documentation for the REST API, which is generated from the information that we design in the serializer, in the views, etc. Okay, so the goal of this issue is to change the API docs theme a little bit so it looks a little bit more similar to the theme of OpenWISP, which is more or less this thing. And we also have it here. The new theme is white background, and it's quite light colors. There's the logo and the red. So trying to make it a little bit more similar to the website as well. And so the API docs right now looks. This is the default theme of the API docs. Swagger, as you can see, it's not in line with the rest of OpenWISP. So the idea is adapt it because it is quite similar. So let's see what Ariman sent us. Right. So here we have his pull request, and usually what we do is, well, we look at the screenshots before and after. Okay, we have a video here. Right, let's see. Okay, nice. Okay, I think I also left some more. Not sure if I left any comment here. Yeah, this other one. Nice. Nice. Okay. Then he asked if we have to change this. I said no. That's really overkill. So I'll go. Well, this one, let's do the review. Right? Although here, anything that is design, graphic, it's always not very straightforward. I mean, there's a lot of paste up here. It's a lot of small details, so it may not be. Let's wait. So already this thing running. So fine, that's. I could even, you know what? If I run over this controller, or even with monitoring, which has a lot more API, turn on development for them. Okay, I think I can run it here too, so that we can see the theme in action. Nice, nice. Now I see this error which we were talking about before, but it's showing up for the notification module, not for the IPAM module. You see, yes, my friends, it's funny, right? Before we were trying to debug, merge that patch, which supposedly fixed a similar issue in another module, but I was not getting the issue. Now I am getting it for another module. Well, we'll see this later. It's not that. Right? It's not the kind of error which impacts you so negatively because it doesn't prevent you from working. It's annoying, so we should fix it. We can give priority to other things. So nice. The first impact is really good. The logo is big enough. It's fine. Okay, we have the authorized thread. Let's try to say there. Not work. Okay, so here, Ariman, I think we need to add some margin between these two buttons. Okay, there's something that doesn't convince me. Okay, I think it would be nice if the buttons are more similar to this button. The style of the button we have in the admin, what is different? The difference is that it is uppercase. You see, it is uppercase, and right. So if we do something like this, also here, yeah, this one. And the font weight is right. And then we have margin of 0, okay, and 5. We try 5. No, I think that itself is fine. I think now it's a little bit more similar, although also here I think the font is slightly different. All right, now let's go and look, find out the font. It would be great if we use the same font. Not sure if it's going to work. We can try because it's not sure. Because, the rest of the it looks like it's already that font, although it looks slightly different. Let me see if there's anything here. No, it's fine. Adding transition border radius background. Okay, the border, for example, the border radius here in our button here, we have something really small, I believe. Border radius, we have 4. Any difference? No. Okay. Order radius 4. Yeah. 4. There's this box shadow. I'm really not sure. Well, it's so small. So okay. So this is something I would try. So let me start adding some notes, right? Otherwise, okay. since we are talking, I will be short in the comments because I think you should. You can try to add this. Okay. Yeah, now it also looks slightly more similar, which is nice here. Kind of nice. Maybe the margin could be a bit more conservative, smaller. It's five. I think five. Let's see. All right. No, five. It's nice. So here, of course, now I shouldn't get carried away too much. I will never finish, but it is looking good with this change that I just made. It's looking nicer, I believe. I'm not sure if we want to change this as well. No? Let's see. What happens if we do the same here? If we do font, oops, how I ended up writing that thing. Text transform uppercase. It's looking better. Font size, what is now? What size is now? 16. What if we do 5, 4? Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think it's better. I think it's more in line with what we have. So, well, let me. This is what I do. I just show you what I really do. Let's see what we have here. Swagger UI, download URL. Okay. Nice. Right. Move on. Here, what I don't like is that the icon has a lot of space, like not really consistent. So what do we have here? I think it's the padding. Let's see what happens if we do. I was 20. Like this, and margin right, and then this authorize. I think it's better. So now that I look at it again, I think that was it this one? Or was it? I think here we could add a little bit more. For example, this way. So since I have been adding a lot of stuff, I think I will just show you the screenshot so you can do something similar. It should be pretty easy. Let me know if it's not. This like nice. These changes, I think we're getting near. So this thing Okay. There's something here which does not convince me. We are almost there. I wonder if we can add slight border here just to make it this thing. Border config solid. I wouldn't use red as I explained because red is important. So maybe we can even try to invert it. But it's a bit strong, too strong. Let's see what we have here. We have this thing here. We have this gray. Right? We have this gray. I can use this tool to pick up the color. It's too strong. Definitely not. Let's see if we can. Okay, so here we have another color. Let me check what color you are using there. I'm getting a bit confused. Okay, so color. Okay. Oh, sorry. That's red. That's the hover. Okay. And okay. That's the color that was there before. Which now, what happens if I just don't say anything? Okay, don't do that. Well, I think there's not much difference, really. So, alternatively, so this hover style, I like it. Right? This hover style, I like it. Kind of like it. Nice. What happens if we make it? Yeah, it is kind of red, but not really. It's kind of pink. What happens if we do manual left click? Okay, a little more space. Maybe we can align it with the beginning of this thing here. Yeah, it's like this. Okay. Now, let's leave the color that was there before because it's this red doesn't, I don't like it. Okay. So we say here I would just do this. Yeah. Okay. So up block tag. Up block tag I put this or like so don't take my suggestions as exactly literal. Okay, if you find variations of it which work better, do it. Otherwise you can apply return. Hopefully the next reviews can be a little more technical than visual, but I mean some people will like this work. And I think the rest can stay. I think we can avoid touching. It looks pretty good. I like it. Yeah, nice, nice. Well, this link here is blue, but our links are not blue, you see? So
Yeah,
if we want to make the styling consistent, we
I
can
will
do
change
this
that.
change.
Yes.
Okay, so no need to do the exact thing. I will share one question. So it's nice to switch color of links to the same color we use in. So I'm not sure if we're using always the same color. We should be doing that. I hope so. Let's change. Let's see here. I like this thing. I like it this way because it's kind of light, right? On this color, and it's not bold, right? Let's not make it bold, okay? Because bold is very heavy. Nice, nice. It looks quite similar to this, okay? It's looking a lot similar, a lot more similar and consistent. Nice. I think with this, I'll show what happens here. Fine, nice. I like this red thing. Mm, if we open this, it's looking good as well. I think it's fine. Right? Execute, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, ready? Let's try. Ready? Okay. Try it. Execute. Yeah. This can stay. Here, look at this. Look at these two buttons. Okay, I'll ask you to fix this. I would try as well here to uh, avoid bold. Mm, oh no, for the text. Okay, here works or not. Work. Well, I leave it to you. It's not that important, but it's nice if the spacing and padding looks correct, which now doesn't. And on. Well, we can try. This shouldn't be very different. Page size, page size. What happens if we do 20? Execute. 1, 2. That's fine. Okay. I think it's fine. Good. So now we can try, for example, right, to device. Right. Very nice. Um, there's a lot of red. I'm not sure if we can do the reverse.
Yeah, I need your suggestion in this. Like
Let's see. Okay, here.
previously it was red.
Okay. This looks fine. This looks fine. I was wondering if we can eliminate this background. This way. Okay. Okay, here, Diamond, what I would like to do is to make it more similar to what? I think the what we did in Wi-Fi login pages works nicely. So I will try to have this as white. This can be. What happens if we turn this into black? I don't know. I click more. I'm not sure whether it was uh, good to show that as red, right? Because there's nothing we can do here. So just an information. This one is navbar. Let's see if I can find it. Is this one? Let me navbar. Could be, but I leave you the some blue ones to try. If it's not this one, please try to the right one. I'm not sure. It's here on some other section. It looks like. Okay. Oh yeah. Then we need to make the logo. Something here does not convince me. This, well, here what I could say, I can resume it. I think we have to make it white. We have to eliminate. What I mean. White. I do also, I look at it, of course, before submitting, I always double check what I'm writing, right? Not all, I mean, sometimes I'm in a hurry, bear with me. Sometimes most of the time I do double check it. Okay? And you should do as well. Whenever you write a request, an issue, documentation, please always look at the preview if you're using an editor, right? Let's see. Changelog. Okay, you added the changelog. Okay, do not send it before checking the preview. Okay, this is a general suggestion for everybody. Now I have the preview. If you don't have the preview plugin in your editor, install it. Okay, and if you want to be a professional in this industry, you need to learn to always double check everything you do. Okay, everything, documentation, tests, not only the code. A code is first thing. Okay, I see a lot of programmers, a lot of wannabe programmers that change the code and don't even test it. No, you have to run that code. You have to run that code how the users will do. Okay, and not only the code, but also documentation, whatever you do, right? Even issues, because there will be somebody who will read this. So you have to make sure that it's clear. So now I'm trying to be clear. I'm saying, okay, for the Swagger UI, can you please do this? Can you? Okay. Would be nice to switch the color of link to the same color to using the OpenWISP admin. No, links. Let me links. A elements. Making sure the links are not bold. Take a look also at these buttons, please, which don't look, which don't not look right. Routable API, we say here is here it is what I suggest. Remove the grid background. Make the header background white. Then we say the logo, make it as big. Make the logo and spacing around it similar to the Swagger. But here it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah. Okay. something similar to that. Okay, so it means make it the same size, and make sure that this thing stays in the center when you right, and the spacing. Make sure the spacing is consistent. You can also make the same background for the header or not. It doesn't matter. I mean, white or slightly gray, even this is fine. So make the logo and spacing around it similar to what's in the Smarter API. This thing you can leave it. This gray, it's fine. Not great, but still useful. Let's see this ball here. What happens if we make this ball? Where is ball? Ball. Font weight. Where is it? I don't see any font weight. There must be. I don't see it.
Label
here.
font weight here.
I'm not sure. Let's see. I think it's kind of less a punch in the face, punch in the eye. I think it's nicer. So I will try to remove the bold from the label and make it black, full black. Labels of the form, I will try to remove the bold and full black. This one is fine, it looks good. I'm not sure if we can change the style of this background, but yeah, I mean, we're getting to here. This red thing kind of doesn't convince me, and I'd like to make it the same background of the form. Hey. Now I have vision here. No, I think this works. I don't think we need to make it red. It's fine that it's red when it's highlighted, okay?
Yeah, now it's
The
looking
button is fine. The button is good. So this thing, how do you call this thing? The tab in the form. The tab in the form. Tab the form. Let's not make it reddish. Let's not make the tab reddish, but now consistent with the rest of the box. Okay. And when you over it, it could be the over style. Maybe the same. It's fine. Kind of. Try something. Okay. And over. Okay. What happens if we do something like that? Yeah. What happens if we do slightly lighter? Okay. The hover could be slightly, the hover right on background, the background, forward, time. Excellent. Excellent string works. Very quick here. Okay. So that with that, I think we're fine. Just need to decide with this thing. What I'm not sold on is, okay, what do we have here? Well, we have a lot of stuff, right? For example, the curly braces could be red. The values could be lit. What is lit? Yeah. Okay. Keyword. Well, no worry for this. No worry for this. We'll do it in a second more to not make this too long. But I can take care of this. Okay. So in the next days, I like everything. It's pretty nice. I just want to make this a little bit more readable and use the red more sparingly. And this is kind of work that it's really like we have to test it. There's no way of knowing before, right? The only thing I can do is sit here. What I do usually, I keep doing this. I keep doing this until it works. What it means that it works? It needs to be readable. So the red here kinds of it doesn't help a lot, because red, as I said, it is an important thing. So now we have the thing of the red that is in our logo, so we use it sometimes as well. We try to use it for things that are kind of important, and that are important. So this could be important. You have to see this, and this is a link. You have to know that it's nice. I like this, and yeah. Or maybe the red here could be used for the braces, because that's and then maybe the columns. I don't know. I have to see, because otherwise everything is red. But this is a matter of testing, so I will help you with that. So for the moment, just focus on these suggestions that I left here. Okay. So, and thank you very much. Thank you very much for your great work. It's looking really good. Let's make some more improvements. And I assure you that after these improvements and this thing that I want to do, it will look great. Really happy, really happy. Thank you very much. Okay. So now this done. Here's the process. We've done a live review, although this is more visual, right? Now I'm sure for the next ones should be a little bit more Python stuff. So let's move on. You also asked. Okay, this is also a visual one. It should be easier, I hope. Okay. So what's the issue here? The issue here is that the home-page pie charts and login screen are not centered. Okay. Nice. Oh yeah. The original issue was another one. Right. Okay. So here. Let's now I go back to master. Okay, I'm gonna delete this. Change it. Okay. Here I have one. Verify again the issue. Oops. The home page. Mobile. Oh no, only on, not here. I think it was, I have to look it on a mobile thing. Because it's not a, I'm not sure if I can, I think I can replicate it if I do, yeah, okay. Yeah, now it's visible, the bar, pretty evident. I would say also, I don't like the fact that the map is so close to the upper part, but we can deal with that another time. The rest looks good. On the pie chart, looks good. So I verified about this here. This is not nice. So Ariman sent us a patch. This is the issue. This is the fix. Look at the screen goes. Looks better. Looks nice. Okay, there's no need to write test case or take notes. And look at the code here. Looks fine. I don't know about this page, but probably how it's called. I think we do have a style checker here, so if the style checker is not complaining, this is fine. Very small change. That's nice. It's nice when the change is really small. Thank you. So here's what I'm gonna do. As usual, I check it out, run it locally, right? So let me run it again, development server in case it doesn't go itself automatically. I'm going to tell it to disable the cache. So nice, nice. So okay, something that happens often. This is fixed on mobile, but what if I go back to not mobile? Is fine? It looks so, yeah. So nice, nice. A little bit, okay. And let's go back to mobile. Nice, 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 nice. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Approved. Approved. Thank you very much. Very good. It's one very much. Thank you. Okay. Well, this important thing, uh, maybe we can avoid it, right? And wait. Okay, this is for the plot, right? And this thing is for other things. We could try.
This is for login screen.
Oh, study CSS. 599. It's becoming huge. Okay. So we have our login. Oh, the login screen. Okay. This is, I didn't test it, right? So it means I have to log out, right? Right. So let me check. Password. Okay, this is how it looks. Without your fix, it looks bad. And your fix, loaded is done. Module. And fix. It looks better. Thank you. Maybe. Max width. Okay. Look, we already have something, right? But it's for okay. Let's go back to this thing. Oh, you have login container. Oh, it's this thing. It's this thing. Okay. What if we? But we need to. No. Look, I don't think we need to set the max width, right? I think. Well, of course, if it's too big, it's also kind of weird. Right? Okay, so I think the max width here is 300. All right, yeah, there's already a max width. So I would leave out the max width, but this thing is not centered. Why is that? Because this head thing, there's okay. You know what? It's not that. Even this one is nice. I'm just kind of worried that I'm a little bit worried that it's too narrow. So what happens if we give it a little bit more? If we remove this, yeah, okay. So here's what I'm gonna ask to improve this part. Okay, I'm gonna ask you to remove this max width because I think it's not needed. Because this it's looking good, but make sure the logo is centered, right? And it's that will be enough. Then we have container. We have one. Maybe we cannot avoid the oh, okay, so yeah. Leave them quick. So it doesn't. Okay. What happens if we do like that? Yeah, there's no way. I don't see any way to avoid the important. However, there will be just one important. The menu bar. All right, we need to the menu bar is okay. Menu bar is menu bar. Okay. If we remove this, what happens? Why is this necessary? Wait. Are you there, everyone?
Yeah,
Can you tell me why is this necessary?
I think I add this for testing. We can remove this.
Right? It can be removed.
Yeah,
Okay. So I am happier because there's less importance. There's only two. Can live with that.
yeah.
So here's what I'm gonna do. This block stay. This block. Click. Oh, then this also a remove. This fall back to 300 pixels, which is not that different. So, also for a matter of lines of code, if we can try to simplify this thing a little bit, because you see we already are 1,600 lines of CSS, which is kind of, it's going to be a pain to maintain, so we have to pay attention to this. Okay, so this is okay. However, the logo needs to be centered properly. But it's mostly fine. I was gonna merge it, but I'm
Yeah.
really
Hey Federico, sorry to interrupt, but one thing that is bugging me is I don't like using important in
yeah.
CSS unless it is strictly necessary, right? So
Yes. So if we remove these ones,
if we
let's
can
go
find a way
here.
to
I will leave a comment. I'm not sure it's possible because I really looked into it, and it
okay.
doesn't seem to be another container before with an ID which we can prevent here to make it. Because
Mm,
with important, the other way is to use IDs before, but
mhm.
I will leave a comment. If we can avoid using important, would be great. Without complicating things too much, okay? Otherwise, it's always trade-off, okay? If we have to learn, if we had to add like 3 or 4 more words here, then maybe important is shorter. So also let's keep in mind the size of the file, which has to be downloaded by the client without complicating. Okay, this looks nice. So thank you. It also looks uh, easier to get merged. Well, minor improvements, which with some practice will become second nature. Okay, let me go back to master here. Now I have changes. And let's move on. Here we have Agman. So proceeding linearly.
Have
Okay.
reviewed I have reviewed this one already.
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so we have a workflow. Let's run it. He has one comment after your review, but
I reviewed 29 minutes ago.
minutes. Well, of course, let's see
Yeah.
the issue. Hey, do you want to do it again? So, since you already reviewed this,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
no,
yeah.
I think it seems he sent one change after your review, so maybe we can be nice and do the process again, maybe faster since you have already reviewed. What do you think?
Sure, sure.
I hand it over to you. Stop sharing.
Let me just
Is that
open
right?
this one. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so a brief overview about my previous reviews. So there were some few lines changed, like there were few blank lines.
Can you explain the issue, please?
Sorry, Federico?
Can you explain what the issue is,
Yeah, sure.
please?
Okay, so there is this issue in OpenWISP notification that whenever a notification setting is not present for a user, it looks up in the database, and if it is not present, it raises an error, which is does not exist. It does not exist exception. So we needed to add an exception handling for this code here, and that's what the PR from Agman. I hope I'm saying it right, pronouncing it right. Agman.
Yeah,
Yeah. So he sent a patch, and I reviewed it a few minutes ago. So there were some problems in the previous review that there were a few blank lines which were added and were not needed. So I asked them to remove them, and I also asked them to update this test because it was, as Federico already suggested in the first part of today's meeting, that we need to have a test that fails if the current solution is not working properly. So that was not the case with this test. So I left him few suggestions about how to improve the test, and I hope he they have this time it works fine, right? Otherwise, there will be another round. They will just ask for more reviews. Yeah, the test looks good. That what I asked, and now I'll double check if the this is running. So this will be good to merge once the test. All of these builds go green. So it is ready to merge. Good work, Agman.
thank
This
you.
was a quick one. And one more issue that I reviewed was from Yashika. So she made this. So there was this issue in netjson config, that is the config generator config backend of OpenWISP, through which the configurations for OpenWRT are generated. So the issue was to upgrade the dependencies. So there are many packages which were not updated. So we want all the packages, all of our dependents to be up to date because they contain many fixes and bug fixes, security fixes, etc.
I think it was for that. Maybe we could try.
Is on.
Okay, live stream is on again. Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully we are sharing some useful tips with the viewers. And yes, I think we could try what we can do. Does the build run now properly?
Well, it should run because there were not breaking changes here. There were only
Okay,
readme changes.
so let's let it run. Is it
Hmm.
running?
I approved it now.
Okay, so once it completes, we see if it's successful, and then we can try to do it ourselves. We can remove the six
Okay.
dependency and see if it keeps building properly. It's easier for us to do that than uh, otherwise we would have to do it manually, which we can also do.
Hmm.
But since we review a lot of pull requests sometimes, since thank you GitHub that gives us the GitHub Actions for free, we can do that. So we can just, once the build runs and we are sure that these changes are fine, we try to remove six. If it still builds successfully, we can merge it.
And also,
Otherwise,
we also need to update this in schema to 4.4, and I think that will be a bit that can be a breaking change because there is a major version upgrade from 3 to 4.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me that. Yes, we do need to do that. And for what I remember from this library, they were pretty good at following the best practices. So we should be, I think we can suggest to use directly 404. Let's see how it goes. It may not breaking
Hmm.
because I think the new versions of JSON schema, which we are not using, right? The standard, I mean, we are still using a slightly older one, are built into separate classes.
Yes.
So if we keep using the same classes as before, it should keep working. Let's see. Okay, so in this case, since still is not ready, we can ask Yashika to do this change of JSON schema and also try to remove 6 and try to run the test without 6, uninstalling uninstall it from your environment, see if it runs or if it's used anywhere. Well, what I would do, let me show something, share my screen. Okay. And my friends, something I suggest you to do, to all of you, is to use the find in project feature of your editor. Different editors have it slightly different, but it's mostly the same concept. So we can find in different directories. And here I will look in this directory here, look for 6. And I see that it is only used in the requirements, and this is just a chance that this string contains 6, but get it on. So it looks like we are not using it anymore. So yes, it looks like we can remove this. That's how I would do it. Of course, after you remove it, okay, let's try it. But just for the sake of, since we are here showing what we do, and hopefully you can start to emulate what we do. So if you do this, the review process will be always faster. Okay, so I am already here in the JSON prompt. If I can run the test, it should be fast because this module is pure Python. There's no database codes. That's fine. It should. What I can do here, I can start. So 6. It was faster. But we did add a lot of tests into this library now. Almost 400 tests. Okay. And exactly that. Running, so S3. Okay. Still we did it. Let's see if it runs. I should, right? We're not using it, but never know. Right? Because dependencies to other components, never know. If another component is using it, another dependency of this library maybe is using it. In that case, we would have a failure, but it doesn't look the case here. So yeah, I think we can remove it. Let me reply to. Yeah. This one. Comments. That's it. Nice. Was there anything else, Gagan, that you wanted to, or we can go in order? We can
No,
read
I
other.
only looked at only these two PRs. And Federico, do you think we can wrap it up for today, or do you want to
Yeah,
continue
at what
reviewing
time
more?
were we supposed to? You know what I would do? Let me see. I had some time scheduled.
Okay.
Let me double check this. So I used in the schedule I have 1 hour more. I can do at least half an hour more without any issue. Yeah, I can do at least half an hour more. And of course, if anybody is busy doing, you need to do anything else, you can leave. You can leave and you can come back, right? So, okay, this is something we didn't check. So next time I will check that the person which shared the link um, is here, right? To do it together. Okay, now right now, yeah, I see one more link in the chat, right, from Ariaman, and I think we can do that, and with that we can wrap it up. I don't see anything else, and I think that maybe we are a little bit tired. Maybe we can use the remaining time as well, Kagan, to publish that. Start uploading it, okay? So we can publish it soon. Maybe some people want to watch the recording. Let me do this live review. And of course, everyone, we will be doing the same in the next days. The goal is to speed up the merging of these pull requests and also help you to get up to speed to change. Okay. So Aryaman, are you still here?
Yeah.
Okay. Link and node in setup of test class belong to different topologies, but the validation better in abstract link class to handle this case. It says 131, and this one, okay. Okay, I remember this one. So we didn't check whether the link and node are belonging to the same topology. We were not validating this. And it was possible to create an inconsistent state artificially. And it's possible. So here, let's look at the code. This is how I usually do. Well, depends really. Sometimes I look first at the code. Sometimes I try it first. I think this depends. Mm, In my case, if it's one of those patches that I really look forward to have, and maybe I wanted to work on it myself, but I couldn't do it for lack of time, so I asked somebody else to do it, or anything. In some cases, what I do is I check out the code and test it, and then look at the code. In some other cases, I look at the code first, and then check. But in the end, it's the same, because there's different sides of it. There's the side of making sure that the problem is solved, and then there's the code quality side, which we have to keep under control, right? For the reasons that I explained before. Uh, for those ones which are seeing the live stream from YouTube, I explained it in the first part of the kickoff that we read code more than what we write. So that for that reason, it's very important to keep the quality of the code decent. So right now I see the changes. So that's what I do. I just open this and I do this. I scan it. Okay. Now this patch is pretty small. Okay. Sometimes the patches that we receive are very long, can be hundreds of changes. Okay. So it's impossible for us to read every line. What I do is I scan it. Okay, I scan it. This looks good. Then, okay, if I have time, I read it line by line. I see that here you're calling this new method. Here you added the method. Nice. It's really good to separate this new validation logic into its own method. It's just more readable, right? Because you read that and you say, okay, validate topology. Yeah, validate topology. We are in the link. In what? Abstract link. Okay, validate topology. So in the link now, we double check that the topology ID is the same. Oh, okay. Okay. Nice. Okay. Okay. The test here. Okay. So let me give you another. So here I could just merge it because it looks good, right? And also Sankat did review here. Nice. Thank you, Sankat. So for the sake of demonstration, since we are also recording this and offering it for future viewers to see our process, I will do full review, right? So again, but the more important was probably not so interested in trying the web interface of this, but I am interested in showing you guys, showing you friends, this is a gender neutral form, um, how I check that the test works, right? Of course, here I say you have two topologies and you have two nodes in topology 2, then you create a link, which is reference the first topology. So we have the nodes which refer to the second, but the link which refers to the first, and we expect a validation error. Nice. So what I do is I check out the code, of course, and then I comment out this thing. I comment out this line, and I expect this test to fail, which reading here, it's pretty evident that it will fail, but I do test it anyway, because you never know, right? There could be one of the, sometimes there's some hidden issue and it doesn't fail for some reason, even though it looks good, okay? So double checking is always good. For the reason that we have to avoid to add open code in the code. This. So this is something, everyone, that you should always do, right? And it's great if you can write the test before do some middle test-driven development. For bugs, this is pretty easy. For bug, okay, there's a bug. Let's replicate the bug. First, we do it manually, then we write a test for it. Well, we write a test that does exactly what we did manually. So we let it fail. We let it fail, we run the fix, we ensure the test passes now with the fix. But sometimes we may screw up something and the test, we figure out later that the test we wrote initially was not correct, so we change it. Or sometimes we fix it before and then we run the test. In those cases, we have to do this that I'm doing. You have to do it. Please do it always. Okay? Sorry. I need to go into base link and look for validate topology and comment it out. So now I can also show you for the new ones where you can run the test suite partially. You need to run everything. Okay, test. So test. We are in integration device test. Integrations device test. Name of one test class. No. That's sorry for my cough. I've been trying to get rid of it, but no, I haven't succeeded. I failed. Okay, so I'm going to try to run exactly this test. Okay, if I do full path to the class and then the test method. If I wrote it correctly, now it should fail. No, probably it's not this. Yes. So, running. Database. Running all the migrations. What's going on here? Did I comment it out? Yes. I commented this out. Okay. Let me double check. Something is wrong. Maybe I did something wrong. Only install a module. I am the right branch. I am on the right branch.
Actually, I've made changes in setup. Those lines. Unity changed that well.
Yes. Okay. So I am the right commit. So yeah. Investigate. Oh, okay. I uninstalled the module. Let me install it again. Please wait, install the local module again. Okay. Run the test again. Let's be and the test passes. And this is not
Actually, I have removed 2 lines from setup function below. Yes.
what?
So you need to undo that as well to replicate this.
Sorry. So I removed this one and I removed this one.
That setup line, that in setup function there is a line for creating topology.
Sorry. Here
You,
in the test.
you can see on GitHub file change, yes, in a setup function. Yes, this one, create org and create topology. Line 331 and 334, 314, 313.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
What's the matter with that?
So you need to add those lines as well to check that validation error.
No. You need to do your changes to the test so that with this test suite, without the fix, the test fails. Okay.
Yep.
I don't care very much what you're doing here. Okay. It would be better if you don't change the setup for sure. I think it would be nice.
Actually, we doing a different topology in setup, creating different topology with the loop. That's why I have to remove that.
Yeah, but look, here what you can do, I'll show it to you. So line 300, these were present before, right?
Yep.
And then we have 1900.
26.
What is this T? Login. Okay. After link say. Then in your test, what you can do is you can do
Yes.
delete everything. So you leave alone the other test, which is always good. Right? It's always good to leave alone the existing test unless we decide to change something. It's always risky. However, this test should fail, right? But it doesn't. So this test is not useful. There's something here, right? So
I think we commented that validation method before.
I'm not explaining myself. Gagan, are you following me?
Yeah, this one.
So let me know if I'm lost, if I'm doing any mistake here. But the point is, you write the test, and the test expects a failure, which is not
Yeah, I got it.
happening. I mean, it's failing. No, it's not. It's not. It's already failing. Okay, it's already failing. It's probably failing for another reason. I'll show you. It is raising the validation error anyway. That's the issue. But it's probably another thing, another problem. You see?
Mm.
So the test is already, the validation error is being triggered.
Yep.
Okay. But for another thing. Okay. So that means that here is not. So here's what I do normally, okay? To speed it up. This is what I said. I put a IPDB, so Python debugger with IPython. So I can hack it on the fly. Otherwise, I have to do this thing of running it all the time, which is slow. But here you can see. Okay. So here I added as context. Okay, so now we have context. Let's see. I should have some information here. Should I have it? Exception. So we have, I call it context as well. Okay. And we can do assert in set a target not sure whether it should fire both, right? It should fire both. Should fire both errors, target and source, right? Or no, it fires with the actual code. It will fire the source first.
Source versus.
And I guess that it stops there, unless we could write it a little bit more intelligently as well, so that it raises both, right? So it could be written also something like this way. I think we could do. This is also something that we could do. Huh? Well, here's what I would do. Ignore this thing that I've done for a moment. I would do assert in source and its context exception. And so now we have cost in message.
Yeah. Message or error dict. Yeah.
Or error. Okay, that's it. Okay. So this is what we expect. I think we can do a little bit more, and we can make it raise both. It's both are true. So I would write this test, and of course this will fail. It will fail. Okay, so this is how you do it. You must be 100% sure that your tests fail without your fix. Okay?
Yeah.
Samkal, you failed at your review. So please do this next time. Okay? Otherwise your review is useless, you're just wasting your time. Don't do that. Do more useful things for your life. Go for a walk. I don't know, do something nice. But don't do this. If you do review, please do this. Otherwise, it's not useful because I may think that you did this work and I may merge it, and then this happens. What happens is that this test will stay here for a long time. Nobody will notice. But then one day we found out, because something fails in production, that something was wrong, and we find out that the test was. It could happen, for example, that in the future somebody goes here and changes this thing, and hence breaks it, right? Inadvertently, of course, not intentionally, and then this test doesn't catch it because it passes anyway. You see, that's the thing. The test is a protection for this particular behavior, right? So the test must be really, really specific. It's not enough to check if the validation is raised, the validation error is raised. We must be sure that the specific validation error we are waiting for is raised. Otherwise, it could be any other validation error that triggers and makes the test pass, but it's a false security. Okay, let's move on now. Here, I think this is what we can do. We may be able to do this. If not, there should be a similar way. Check the channel together. But let's look. Okay, this is commented out, so the test will fail now. It expects those two here, target and source. And I have the IPV, I just let it run. Okay, it doesn't find source, not found in cost. Okay, cool. And of course, we need to fix that. Add one. Now this is the proper test. Okay. And it will fail here. We don't need this comment. Oh well. Okay. So if we comment this, I'm
Federico,
not sure about this.
Federico, you are raising a list in the validate part right here.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it
Are you
is not
sure it's?
working.
No. Now I commented this
Okay.
out. I am letting it fail on purpose.
Okay.
Okay. Without, it's like I did this. It's like the solution is not written yet. Let's pretend it's not there yet. So the test is working. The test is doing its job and it's written properly now because it is failing without the solution. So now the solution, I am not really sure about this raising the listing. It should be doable. If not, we will see in the Django docs what's the proper way to do it. But I know it's possible to raise multiple errors at the same time since a few years now in Django. Okay.
Yeah, I think the way they do it in Django and DRF, I remember it now. They create a list of dictionary. They create a dictionary. They have a dictionary of errors, and then they pass it to validation error. So instead of appending individual validation error objects, you will just append. You, you will create a dictionary that creates
Right.
multiple things, multiple entries.
Right. Here, look, also this one works. Okay. I think I can do it this way.
I don't think it will still work though.
I am trusting this guy on Stack Overflow. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. Yeah, but it's okay, I see. It's slightly different. So let's do as you say. So we can do else. And here this thing. But perfect. Okay. Finally get it. Okay, what's that? All right. Yeah, right. What? 1, 7. All right. Inline. So now, oh, it's failing in setup. Okay. Now I get RM1. What you?
Yeah, I tried. It's actually failing. That's why I did test.
Okay. Sorry for that.
I don't know.
I get it. So let's put it back as it was before. For the change to setup it's needed because otherwise it fails before. 26. Failed setup right now. Okay. So let's make it clear. Without this fails and feedback, it pass. So now I'm not sure if I can push here. I don't think I can. Okay. Fails, validation error not raised. Put it. And it's slightly nicer because it will show both errors. This is something that we can keep in mind for any type of validation error. Is nicer because say that you are working, but in this case it doesn't really apply because this kind of stuff is mostly automatic in this module because these topology links and nodes are created automatically by parsing topology file. Basically, there's software, networking software that give us the topology, and we read it, we parse it, and we create it. Okay, but in some other cases, most other cases in the truth, especially in the device or the OpenWISP controller, the form is pretty big. There's many fields, so it's pretty annoying when you have multiple errors in the form and the system tells you only the first error it finds, but there are other errors. So you fix that, and you save again, and you get another error. Then you save again, and you get another error. It's pretty annoying, right? It's nicer if you get all the errors. Okay, this is what you did wrong here. This is not right. Here, the list of errors. That's what we did here. So here, I did it just to show you guys, friends, how to do it. And it's a best practice to always do it anyway. If we get the habit of doing this, it will be faster next times. That's it. Okay. So that's what I'm gonna leave you. Let's move here. Oh wait, how can I do this? This way. Nice. And then this one stays. And here I will also the test was not good enough because it was checking only if validation increase instead of checking for the error being introduced, which can generate false positives. False positive is the right term, but I always not trying to say. And leave was just here too. You can see the main difference, apart from fixing the cost, is that we capture this information in this variable called context. It stands for context manager, which is the construct used here with WIP. We have the context here, and we access the exception and the error dict, and we make sure that source and target the keys are present in the error limit. That video we are doing what I just wrote here. That is checking for the specific introduce race. That's it. Okay. So well, I commit to do checks before committing again. Okay. Then nice. I think we can wrap it up. I need to turn on my camera. No, my camera was on. I hope it was useful. And sorry everybody for the mess we did with YouTube. We will upload the first part as soon as possible and share the links with all of you. So you can share it with whoever you think may be interested in following the first, watching the recording. Okay, and tomorrow, same time, we'll be here. We'll be doing more, and the Monday, Tuesday, etc. until Friday. And I think around Tuesday, we can even start to focus on specific modules to make sure that we can release them. Right? I will share more details later on. I think during the sprint we can also start releasing the smaller modules for which there's not many issues left to solve, and those ones many have already a pull request. So I think we can try to focus a little bit more on those to sort them out, so we clear and say, okay, these ones are done. It's frozen. We're not going to do any more change. We're ready for release or either release. Then we can fully focus on the other modules. That's the idea. Gagan, you know what we forgot? I think we forgot to ask if anybody has questions. Something we forgot.
Yeah.
For sure. I think we replied to all the questions.
Yep.
That
In the chat.
Okay, so that I think at least with that. But if you have any question tomorrow, in the next days, no problem. Go ahead and let us know. Open your microphone, ask, or if you want to ask any question now, you can do so. Anybody? Any doubt? Something you want to clear? Say? Okay.
Well, I think we can wrap it up today, but I guess.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody, for participating. I think it was. I felt like I was showing you really how it's done, and I hope that it's clearer now what you have to do to make sure that your pull request is really ready. If you do that every time, the review process will be faster because you are doing the same exact checks that we are doing. So you should be able to spot these errors that we are spotting. You fix them before we do the review. So that means that these basic mistakes will be already fixed. So we may uncover other things, other details to be improved, or we may merge it directly, which is always nice. It doesn't happen so often, but one round of review is fine. Merging directly is great. What we have to try to avoid is to fall for the basic mistakes, okay? And it's totally fine because we always, everybody is a beginner in something sometime, so it's totally fine. But it is important that you now learn these suggestions, right? And something tip I can give for those ones who want to apply for Google Summer of Code or any other type of project like that is that I look at this kind of things a lot, right? So if I can choose between a person that understands this process and is able to do these checks autonomously without me having to remind every time you have to do A, B, C, D, and right? There's some people I have to do this error every time, and then they get it and they do it on their own. I always do these checks anyway, but of course I do the check, and if it works, I say okay, it works. I move on. But if it doesn't work, I have to stay there and explain, and it takes time. And we have 130 pull requests open, and we have our own work to do, our own life, and many other things. So now you know why it takes so long for us to reply, because whenever there is a problem, we have to spend half an hour explaining you what's the problem. Okay, so I hope now you get it, and you understand that you need to be patient, and you need to be mindful of the time we dedicate to you. We really appreciate your contribution. Thank you very much. It's great. We want you also, we want you to know that we appreciate the time you're spending. We also want you to know that you should value the time we spend for you, right? Because we spend time to explain you things, give you tips, right? And this is all useful for you, for your future, for the work you want to do in this industry, right? So the best way that you can demonstrate to us that you value our time is to read the contributing guidelines properly, follow those suggestions all the time, and respect this process that we have just shown. Okay, that is test your work manually. If it's a visual kind of work, do a lot of manual testing, ask for suggestions. And if it's a more Python thing or technical thing, like this last pull requests we made, do this thing, okay? Stress test your assumptions, stress test your work. That's what I'm gonna do, what we are gonna do, what I'm teaching all the maintainers and contributors to do. Stress test your assumption, your work, make it fail, okay? Try to make it fail on purpose. See how it fails. Does it fail badly, or is it robust? Okay, is the test you have written failing for the specific error you're expecting, or is it failing for another error? So make sure that whenever you expect an error, you check the right error is being raised, and you develop a solution. Great. Try to make it fail. And right, you're making a request, HTTP request. What happens if the server is not reachable? Does the application crash? You have to test it. Whenever you write a line of code that can fail, do not test only the successful part. Test also the failing part, because we will do that. Because this system runs in some real-world settings, and some people use it to provide services, and these people want it to work, right? So sooner or later, somebody will have to test that. And now, of course, we know this, and we always test it in the beginning. Sometimes it leaks, but it doesn't matter. But the point is, from a beginner point of view, the tendency is I write the solution, it works, I send it, right? It's okay, it's fine. But usually there's always a little bit more that you have to do, okay? Like this work that we've been doing. In the next days, it will become clear. So be sure to book some time to come back. I don't ask you to come back every day. If you can and you want, please do. We'll be here. If not, choose your dates. If you don't have a lot of time, what I can suggest you is try to book full one of, so we'll be doing 2-3 hours. I don't remember again. How many hours did we book? 3?
I think we discussed on having 1 hour every day, right? 1 hour every day.
Okay. It's a bit more.
Okay.
But we'll be flexible. We'll be flexible. So
Yeah, that's for
if
sure.
I can, I will be there more doing. If there's people that I will leave this on with my camera off, right? Camera off, and then also if nobody is talking, and also the microphone off, and I do work, right? Whatever I'm doing. Then if somebody shows up, please open your microphone, say hey, hello, how are you, how's it going, etc. Get to know each other a little bit better, and then ask what you want to know, or say hey, I have a pull request that I want to review, and we'll do it. Okay, that's it. I think I am done. Thank you very much for participating. We'll see you tomorrow if you're here, or next week. Not on Sunday, okay? Not on Sunday.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Let me stop the live stream.